Welcome back to our misogyny. I'm your host, Hannah Blue. You're listening to episode 81, Playing the Hate Game. Well, listeners, as promised, I am back. And first off the bat, I want to say a hello and welcome to the 59th foreign country to join our misogyny podcast, the Philippines. Hello and welcome. Thank you for tuning in, you guys. Now today, we're going to talk about some things, ugly things that we shouldn't be talking about in 2025, but here we are. A white woman went viral for calling a black boy diagnosed with autism the N-word. What's even more disgusting, she found a way to profit from it. She opened an account on Give, Send, Go. And right now, it's a bit over $700,000. Am I shocked? No. When we go back to the election, and I'm going to put this out here, I absolutely believe Donald Trump cheated. That is my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Because he's referenced several times about Elon being good with voting machines and rigged elections. If there was no funny business involved, then why bring it up? But here's what's imperative. Racist people voted for a convicted felon. He was convicted of 34 counts. Look it up. And he also lost a case against E. Jean Carroll for allegedly raping her in New York. He had to pay her over $80 million. This was a man who incited an insurrection on January 6th. People stormed the Capitol. Police officers were hurt. They smeared feces on the wall. Several police officers after that incident committed suicide. And what did Donald Trump do? He pardoned every last insurrectionist. That's right. He let them go. If this were any other country, that never would have happened. You don't attack your government without consequences. But that's where we are. People following his lead and acting recklessly without facing consequences. I'm going to get into that story in a minute, but there is one stop we're going to make before we talk about that. So get your tickets ready and let's fly to our first stop, Iran. Fatima Sultani was 18 years old, and she was working at a women's beauty salon in secret because she was afraid of how her father would react. Fatima wanted what most 18-year-olds want: independence and freedom, a chance to live life on her own terms without brutality or violence. Well, that enraged her father, a man with a documented history of violence against Fatima and her mother. As anyone would, Fatima got fed up and she moved out. And things were going well for Fatima until her father found out where she was working. He called the booking number listed on her Instagram page. And at around 9 a.m. on Friday, when Fatima noticed he was waiting outside, she called her mother to ask for advice. And of course she was upset. Who wouldn't be? The father entered the salon with a knife, grabbed his daughter, and stabbed her multiple times. Now this was done in front of employees and customers. He tried to behead her, but when they screamed, he ran like the coward he was. Then he called his wife saying, "I've left you with this grief." What an animal. Yes, he was arrested, but it's too late for Fatima. These are the kinds of stories that are right up our alley because we believe in advocating for the rights of women. Fatima had the right to move out. She had the right to set a boundary. She had the right to live life on her own terms. And he had no right to take it from her. But that's what he did. Now, we've talked about femicide many, many times on this podcast. This man was so obsessed that he couldn't control his daughter. He killed her. That is at the heart of misogyny. That is sheer hatred for women. I don't know how laws work in Iran, but I hope if there's a death penalty, he gets it. Rest in peace, Fatima Sultani, a beautiful girl with beautiful dreams, snuffed out too soon. Let's get ready for our next stop, the UK. Now, this beautiful lady doesn't need us to advocate for her, but we're going to do it anyway because we like her. She is Dutchess Meghan Sussex, and she scored another hit with her As Ever jam. It's now available in England, but as for her haters, nothing is more sweeter than despising the oxygen in her blood. Thanks to Colford, a London-based gift service, jars of her famous raspberry jam got into the hands of some lucky people. Colford posted on Instagram, "A pleasure to assist Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, in spreading jam and joy amongst friends in the UK. Our white glove chauffeur service facilitated a seamless handover at every doorstep." Can you imagine receiving a jar of her jam? I don't think I would eat it. I would just put it on display forever. Meghan recently appeared on a friend's podcast, Jamie Kern Lima, and they talked about a sweet gift Meghan had sent her. Lima said, "One time I had in-laws and all these people visiting, a very full house, and all of a sudden I got word you had dropped something off. You dropped off this gift basket with ice cream and homemade strawberry sauce to put on top of the ice cream, just to see if that helps lighten my load. It was as if you were in my shoes, feeling what I was feeling, without me even needing to tell you anything." Now here's what got her haters in an uproar. She signed the note with compliments of HRH, the Duchess of Sussex. Well, Meghan and Harry allegedly agreed not to use the HRH title when they left their roles in the palace in 2020. So the British outlets accused Meghan of violating the agreement with Queen Elizabeth II by sending the note. Now you have to be absolutely deranged to let a note about ice cream and strawberry sauce get you offended. Ingrid Seward, a hater of Majesty magazine, argued that the late Queen would be highly offended as she was very sensitive about that. That sounds absolutely ridiculous. Now, a source close to the Duke and Duchess said that the gift to Lima was private and it had been given more than a year ago. And the couple does not use the HRH title for public or commercial purposes. Now, that's true. But according to her haters, she's not even allowed to use it in private. Here's the issue. This is a Black woman, and she is, whether you like it or not, the Duchess of Sussex, and that's not going to change. This woman minds her business, raises chickens, grows vegetables, and takes care of her family. How could you hate anyone like that? But that's where we are. The deep roots of racism planted all over the world have proliferated in such an abundance. People of color cannot breathe without being accused of doing something wrong. We need to note, all of her As Ever products have only referred to her name, Meghan, not the Duchess of Sussex. She kept her promise not to use the title for commercial purposes. So what's the issue? The issue is people thought when Harry and Meghan left England, they would fade off into obscurity and no one will want to hear anything about them ever again. And that's not what happened. When this lady drops her products, they sell out. And if there's anything that infuriates haters more, is to live well. And that's what she's doing. She's living her life well. Well, Mrs. Meghan Sussex, we hope you continue. Continue to prosper, continue to live well, and please continue with your fabulous As Ever products. You have fans all around the world who are willing to support you. And that's just that. Now let's get ready for our last stop. My country. The firestorm that it is, the United States. Let's talk about the N-word. I'm going to try very hard not to cuss. This story has been a hot topic on social media, and it's not stopping anytime soon. Shiloh Hendricks is a woman who got caught on video hurling a racist slur at a young child, 5 years old, who was diagnosed with autism. Well, what did Shiloh decide to do? She went to Give, Send, Go and set a financial goal of $50,000. Well, that was raised in a day. So what other bright idea did she have? To raise the goal to $1 million. And guess what? The donations have been pouring in with the most vile comments you could ever imagine. This wasn't an argument between her and a grown adult. This was a grown woman calling a 5-year-old child the N-word at a park because she claims the child took an item from her child's bag. Then she got on social media with her white woman tears, trying to act as if she was the victim, saying her family has been attacked and they may need to relocate. Anyone with a heart and morals would be appalled that this woman has managed to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for being disgustingly racist. This happened in Rochester, Minnesota on Monday, April 28th. And the man who recorded the video is Sharmaik Omar. Well, he knew the little boy and he knew that the child was on the spectrum. So when he heard her call him the N-word, he confronted her and got her on video. And she didn't back down. She told him to mind his own effing business and that the child took her son's stuff. And then she proceeded to use the N-word multiple times. Omar asked her if she thought it was appropriate to call a little child the N-word. And she said, if that's what he's going to act like. And that's not the worst part. Let me tell you what she wrote on the Give, Send, Go account. The account is now at $753,706. And here's what the bigot posted. My name is Shiloh, and I have been put into a very dire situation. I recently had a kid steal from my 18-month-old son's diaper bag at a park. I called the kid out for what he was. I'm going to read that sentence to you again. I called the kid out for what he was. Disgusting. Another man, who we recently found out has a history with law enforcement, which is a lie, and I'll get to that in a minute, proceeded to record me and follow me to my car. He then posted these videos online, which has caused my family and myself great turmoil. My social security number has been leaked. My address and phone number have been given out freely. My family members are being attacked. My eldest child may not be going back to school. Even where I exercise has been exposed. I'm asking for your help to assist in protecting my family. I fear that we must relocate. I have 2 small children who do not deserve this. Can you believe that? She's talking about what her children don't deserve, yet she called a black child diagnosed with autism the N-word. The arrogance. We have been threatened to the extreme by people online. Anything will help. We cannot and will not live in fear. Thank you. This woman isn't a victim. She's a disgusting, racist bigot who's being supported by more disgusting, racist bigots. Let me read some of the comments to you. And as cowards go, of course, most of the donations are anonymous. Now, Give, Send, Go let the comments go on for a while, but then they shut them off. Gee, I wonder why. Here's one. We must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children. One said, Jews are the reason we are in this mess. And another, Jews have been flooding our countries with their bioweapons for centuries. And another, Jews are using diverse immigrants to dilute the white population. Some of the people who donated called for the killing or deportation of non-whites and Jews. Nate Higgers was posted 130 times. White Lives Matter was posted 24. And TND, which is Total N-Word Death, was posted 19 times. Many of the donations were for $1,488, and that is significant. According to the Anti-Defamation League, 1488 is a code that white supremacists use. 14 is short for a 14-word slogan about the future for white children, and 88 stands for Hell Hitler. A donor posted the name Fenty Floyd, which is a reference to George Floyd. He was not on fentanyl. And another posted Nuck Figures. Now, I don't want you to think this is a joke. It's not. Some of these racist people have donated big money to this woman. Just 5 days ago, someone donated $10,000, and this received 16,522 likes. Someone donated $5,000. 5 days ago, $2,500, and 4 days ago, $2,025. And there's been a lot more donations made over $2,000. Now, here's my question. These are the same people who say children should not have free meals in school because America doesn't have the money, yet they have it to donate to a bigoted woman who has zero empathy for a child? Come on now, make it make sense. And as for Shermack Omar, the man who did the right thing and stood up for the baby, he's been doxxed. Yeah, someone leaked his address. He's received death threats. And he said one of his children is also autistic and cannot play outside because it's no longer safe. Now I'm going to ask you, what world are we living in? It's Trump's world. This is why his supporters wanted him back in office so they could have a green light to be as racist and disgusting as possible without consequences. But make no mistake, there are consequences for every action. I wouldn't walk around just calling random people the N-word because you know what? You might get hurt. I think it's a shame that this man stood up and did the right thing. He protected a child. Yet he and his family have to be in fear for their lives. And guess what? According to Omar, he has no criminal record. He has never broken the law in his life. Not only did Shiloh Hendricks weaponize this opportunity to profit from racism, she used it to denigrate an innocent man who has no criminal record. That is beyond disgusting. And some folks are cheering her on. Let's talk about Piers Morgan. He had a white woman on his show who openly admitted she uses the N-word. And she sees nothing wrong with it. And she sees it as free speech. I was surprised that Piers Morgan was absolutely disgusted by her because he is absolutely disgusting to me. That's my opinion and I'm sticking to it. But yeah, he read her for filth. He was not on her side for using the N-word. No one should want to use it. But you know what? There are some people who are so obsessed about using this word. It's about power. It's about control. It's about a boundary that has been set that some people feel they don't have to abide to. A few years ago, I had someone contact me, a white person, I'm not going to say the name, and ask me, why was it okay for black people to use the N-word but not white people? And stated that their daughter's friends used it all the time, so why couldn't their daughter? I said, my question is, why are some white people obsessed with using the N-word? That's the real question. Why do you want to say it? What is it about rolling it off your tongue in public that excites you? It's sickening. Well, there's a light at the end of this tunnel. The Rochester branch of the NAACP also opened a fundraiser. And I'm telling you, I posted it on my Threads account as if my life depended on it. And guess what? We raised over $341,000 for this child because it's not right. The actual total, $341,504 was raised for this baby. And I was happy to do it. And let me share something else. Shermack Omar also has a GoFundMe. and he's almost at his goal. I donated to it, and I'm asking you to do the same, because it's not right when good people do good things and they are spit upon. But bigots can raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for being disgustingly racist. And with that, I'm out of time. If you learned anything in today's episode, feel free to follow me. By now you know where. Podbean, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Samsung, iHeartRadio, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, and more. It's the weekend, people. May 10th to be exact. And guess what? The ebook version of Michael Darius 1 is live. That's right. I released it just in time for Mother's Day. So go out and get your copy when you're ready. And we're wishing the happiest Mother's Day to all the non-racist mothers in America. We have a duty not only to protect our children, but all children from racism. So if that's you, keep doing what you're doing. You are appreciated. And a special thank you to everyone who has purchased my books, the Paterius and Codarius series. A couple days ago, somebody bought my entire collection, all 5 books. I was floored. Thank you so much for your support. It does not go unnoticed. Please keep leaving reviews and stay tuned, because I have a brand new series coming called Genius. Be easy. Have a good weekend. Take care of yourselves. And as always, God